I have a whole bunch of new knives to check out, and almost every single one of these are bangers. There's a couple that are not brand spanking new, but most of them are, but 95% of them are just absolute bangers. This is the new Ornis from Artis Knives, and it is an absolute banger. It has a button lock action with a phenomenal deployment with the reverse flick. Nice sound. It's got that nice ting sound, ting. It does have a titanium body, S90V, satin blade. Now the satin blade is a little bit fingerprinty at times, but you know, it's a very fine satin. Normally I'd prefer a little bit of a deeper satin so that doesn't happen, but it's still nice. It's a beautiful satin, titanium scales. Then it has a titanium mill pocket clip. Now, my only little issue with this knife is the pocket clip being a little stubby. I wish it had longer length so that it was more bendy. It's a little stiff. It's very, very stiff. I almost want to replace it. But I'm pretty sure any of their clips will fit this, and I have plenty of Artisans and CJRBs. I don't know that for sure. I have to try it. Very slim in the hand, very ergonomic, super slicey. So all in all, this one is an absolute banger. Let's get to their next one. Now this next one is from Artisan as well, and this is one of their brand new models, just like the last one, the Baskin. This is a Gavco design. Now I do have one issue with this, but everything else I freaking love. This blade is S90V, and it has basically like a curved sheep's foot Americanized Tonto with a dual grind and a recurve. That is a mouthful. So it's a recurve sheep's foot Tonto. Very snappy action. Great detent on the titanium frame lock. Titanium spring pocket clip. I actually like these pocket clips, by the way. They work really good and really well in the hand and in and out of the pocket, which is obviously the most important part. You got great leverage for the thumb or the reverse flick. The drop is very smooth. It is riding on ceramic cage bearings, just like the last knife was. And like I said, S90V, so it's got a phenomenal steel. Micro milling, I should have said that already. The titanium frame lock has beautiful micro milling over it that is very tactile. Like you feel it. This one you can actually feel. It has a nice finger choil. And all in all, I really like the knife, but man, I wish they did put some lock bar access. It's a super slim knife. This thing is very narrow, very slim. So when you get right here, you know, it's just too tight. They did not cut it back right here. They should have cut it back because it feels just like there's like too little of a gap there because it is such a slim knife, which I love. I love that about the knife. It means it's gonna be easy to carry. You know, it's gonna be basically thin, lightweight, and you know, slicey. But that lock bar access, oh man, it's almost a deal breaker for me. Maybe not quite a deal breaker, but I do wish that it had at least it knocked back or some sort of chamfer, some sort of access. All in all though, I freaking dig it. Other than that, great ergonomics, great choke up spot. This blade shape is going to be actually very useful because you can trap materials in that recurve. And then, you know, obviously the tip is going to be great at utility cutting, even though it's a Tonto, which is pretty crazy. Now this next one actually already existed. However, they recently dropped their new blades. So if you guys don't remember, I've featured this in a bunch of videos. This is an OLLONS. These things are like $54. You're getting 3 blades of 9CR18 MOV steel, a full titanium frame lock. The pocket clip is a steel deep carry clip, but regardless, it has amazing ceramic ball bearing action, great access to the lock bar, very, very smooth, and all this for 54 bucks. 3 blades of 9CR18 MOV steel too, so it's not like it's just a disposable blade. You can absolutely resharpen these, and now they just dropped the replacement blades because before, when you bought it, you just got these. You got a drop point, a sheep's foot, and you got a serrated blade. So now you can buy a Tonto as well. So for $10, you can get new blades. These are the 3 blade shapes, what it comes with for 54 bucks. Spend an extra $10, you can get an extra blade, you can get a Tonto, and get other blade replacements when you know you need to replace them. However, the cool thing is that you can just resharpen these. This is absolutely a knife that you can resharpen over and over and over. Phenomenal action, phenomenal fit and finish. Ergonomics are great. Blade's easy to take off. You literally just take the stud, untwist it, it'll pop off, then you can pop a new blade back on. So you can always have a sharp edge when you have this knife. This is a phenomenal hunting knife, camping knife, work knife, whatever. And for the price, if you lose it, drop it, break it, it's not going to be that big of a deal, you know? So, and if it's the blade that breaks, you can always replace it. Next is a new USA made beautiful EDC fixed blade from BP Customs. I freaking dig this thing a lot, like a lot. We got a beautiful, I'm gonna call it a drop foot, like it's like in between a sheep's foot and a drop point, a harpoon drop point with a nice satin finish. I love that deep satin. He does sharpen these by hand on stone, so that's already a plus to me. Magnet cut steel 63 HRC, exactly where I want to see it. Incredibly sharp edge. He sharpened this at 20 degrees per side, so you can see how thin the geometry is behind the edge. The blade stock thickness is a little bit thick, but in a good way. Like it has a nice taper to it, nice transition. And the handle, he picked this one out, by the way, but yep, just cut myself just by touching it. Wow. I should buy stocks and Band-Aids. So the handle, he picked this out. This is blue linen micarta, and it is absolutely gorgeous, but he has all different kinds. Like he has butterscotch micarta. He's got a ton of stuff. As far as the handle materials go, he does incredible work on the handles, and they are just gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. This is beautiful, you know, on its own. But man, when I look at that butterscotch and some of that red, oh my goodness. Or like cross-cut micarta with something else as a bolster, because he does some of that too. He does have a couple other designs. Ergonomically, my goodness, I could bear down on this literally all day long. The balance is absolutely amazing. It's like literally perfect balance. You can choke up all the way up tight to the edge. So slicing, man, you get a lot of power. Utility cuts are going to be amazing. The pinch grips. Like I said, the geometry is super thin behind the edge. And then look at this. Perfect plunge grind and sharpening tool. This is how it's done. So the plunge grind starts here, obviously at the thickest point, and then it starts tapering down, starts dropping down to get down to the grind. Well, he didn't taper it from here to here. He tapered it straight down. It has a little bit of an angle, but it's basically straight down. So you have all the life from the time it hits the grind until the edge to sharpen off. So all of this is steel that can be removed in order to sharpen, which also leaves clearance when I'm freehanding, which I'm going to be doing soon. I want to test this knife, you know, on the stone and feel how his heat treatment is, you know, on his magnet cut. You know, I've tested a lot of magnet cut, and I'm excited to try, you know, his custom work. Now, the sheath, really good work on the sheath, man. This thing, listen, nice click. Nice push-off spot. He's got a nice little tab there. You can literally fly it across the room if you want to. I mean, it'll kick if you want it, but in a good way. Great size, great weight, great everything, man. The way these edges are done, this is an absolute banger of an EDC fixed blade, and I'm excited to test it. Next, we have another USA-made knife, the Fobo Knives Tier 1. Now, this is the Tier 1 Mini. This is the Tier 1 Mini. You can see it's a little bit bigger than the Mini. Both are pretty good EDC sizes. Micarta scales. Now here is the full size one. I freaking love this thing. I love this blade shape, man. I love how it like spears out right here. For like plunging into things, this is amazing. And you know, it's got enough weight and balance to be a decent chopper, you know, for, you know, that type of use. Not saying it is a chopper, but you know, it'll work really good as, you know, a tactical knife. Now, this one's in magnet cut steel, and it comes with a Kydex sheath. Nice retention, great sheath. They do a great work, man. I love Fobo Knives. I think he does amazing work. Now, these are coming with leather sheaths, but they have a magnet built in. So the way I've been doing it is I didn't like the band on my Mini because it wasn't really holding it in. However, the magnet itself holds it in. Ooh, that was my fault. If you look, there's a magnet built in there. more so on the back. So that magnet holds the blade in there pretty well. So I just walk around with it like this, you know, and then when I need it, it's easy to pull out, easy to put back in. I don't have to worry about the strap. Now, obviously, under certain conditions, you'd want to have that strap, but all in all, man, these things are really, really well done. The sheaths fit really well. Now this one, while it's in the sheath, you can see the band, you know, is actually a little bit better on this one, but if I wanted to, I can easily pull it out. So that's what I meant about the band, it being, you know, just not useless, but you know, it's not gonna be something that's gonna prevent you from pulling it out. So because of that, I just unscrewed it, which was really easy to do. And now I just rely on the magnet that's on the inside, which, man, these leather sheaths, really, really good quality. The thickness, the stitching, everything about these I love. You know, if I'm gonna have a leather sheath over Kydex, I want one like this, because these are just, they're beautiful sheaths. To me, these are just gorgeous looking, you know, especially when you're wearing a leather belt. The micarta, really good quality micarta, nice texturing, perfect ergonomics. And this is the mini. Perfect ergonomics. These are so comfortable. The bigger one, you know, you could even say even more so. You can choke up. CPM 154 steel, so you know it's a powdered version of 154 CM, so it's going to be a bit tougher and have a little bit more edge retention, but it's mostly about the toughness. The grain structure is even finer. It'll be a great stainless steel, and these have a really cool, almost like mirrored stonewash. As you can see like there's a lot of reflection with these. So really cool finishing work. Again, I love this blade shape. It is thick and slicey at the same time. That's one thing I appreciate about Phobos knives. They have a nice balance between hard use and being usable. So these are still thin enough to where you could absolutely use them, but they're thick enough to where you're not gonna have to worry about breaking them. They are definitely tougher EDC knives. So if you're looking for a tough EDC knife or a tough tactical or camp knife, check out Phobos Knives. I will link them down in the description. They do amazing work. I freaking dig what they're doing, and I can't wait to try out more from them, you know, as time goes on. Let's stay in the USA. We got the Tactile Chupacabra available right now. This exact version with the satin finish. Now, to my knowledge, I haven't tried it yet. I'm actually sending mine back to get the new jimping, because if you remember, or maybe you don't remember because you didn't watch it, in my first impressions I said there was kind of a little bit of a deal breaker, and that was the jimping on the lock bar. It's just entirely way too fine. Now I can use it obviously, but I have to really push in there and really grip it because it's got a nice strong spring, but it's just slippery. So they are supposedly or have supposedly put sharper jimping on there. I'm gonna send mine back to get either the new jimping put on or for them to fit a new lock in there. So we'll see how that turns out. Either way though, I have been carrying the hell out of it. I freaking love it, I dig it. We have magnet gut steel, 63 to 64 HRC, aluminum handles, steel liners, and then it's using the same lock that, or the same designed lock that Snex designs. Now this is not a collaboration with Snex. I actually thought it was originally, but it is not. But what it does do is they do give him credit for, you know, the lock, you know, since they are using his lock. But he doesn't make any money off of it, basically. The detent, one thing about this is, unlike a lot of other knives that have this style locking system, most of them have very soft detents. This thing, they actually figured out how to get a decent detent. So it has a nice sound to it, nice click. The clip works really well, nice and slicey behind the edge. Ergonomics are great, great geometry. I personally love it. I love the profile, I love the shape, I love the size. I have two of them. Now, like I said, I do hate this jimping. Like, I hate it. So I'm hoping that they do, that the new ones or the new jimping is a lot better. I hope it's very sharp. And I would love to see different thumb studs, but these work just fine, like they're good. But man, you could make it even better with a certain type of thumb stud. Let's get to the next one. Next is the Concept Tarocco. Oh, I freaking love this thing. I showed it in a video recently in my first impressions, and nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. I've only fell in more love with it. This one's obviously the flamed titanium one. It has a titanium frame lock. The blade steel is S35VN with this beautiful stone-washed finish over the top. Now, the stone-washed finish is very fine. It's almost reflective, but it's heavy enough to where it's gonna hide fingerprints and scratches for the most part. But one thing I freaking love about this thing is this front flipper. This is the detent strength is perfect for this leverage point on the flipper tab, and it's just so fidgety. Like, this is one you could like, it's so damn good. I love it. Very ergonomic in a small, compact kind of way. So, you know, it's slim, it's compact, but this is definitely one you feel pretty good with bearing down on. Pinch grips are going to be good. Access to the lock bar is amazing. Super duper smooth on the drop. The clip is a spring pocket clip like I was talking about before. I actually like them. I think they work very well. Listen to this ting that this thing has. If I'm not touching the clip, because that's the clip, so if I keep my fingers off the clip, especially if you're left-handed, oh my goodness, this thing has some beautiful acoustics, but the amount of force that blade does to come out when you deploy it, it's so powerful. You almost wonder, like, man, is this thing a little too powerful? Is it hitting that stop in a little too hard? But all in all, I freaking dig the Tarako. I think Concept did an amazing job on this one. Now, another one, which has been out for a long time, the Penguin. This is the large one, but there's a medium size and a small size version. I'm bringing it up because you can get a titanium frame lock version of the Penguin for like $120 or something like that. I think it's an S35V and this one's 20CV. I'm not sure exactly how much this one would be, but on Kaviso's site, they have an amazing deal on their Penguins right now. I'm not sure how long it's lasting or if it's going to be for good, but they also have, you can get scales, you know, like fat carbon scales. You can get titanium hardware in different colors, so you can basically make them your own. Like I said, this one is the large one. A lot of the stuff they have is for the regular size one, but just absolutely an amazing knife. Hands down, great knife. Great detent. This one's on bearings. They do have a budget version on washers, but most all the new ones, new versions I should say, are on bearings. The titanium's done very well. Like I said, the detent is really good. The geometry is nice. It's average. It's not super thin, not super thick. It's going to be just right. Ergonomics are really good. The clip works great. Obviously it's a wire clip, but you know, they have titanium milled pocket clips, lots of flavors, lots of options, but I figured I would just talk about it because since they are so popular and just so loved, when they're on sale like they are right now, it's a good time to invest in them. Next is the new SAOP. I recently did a video on this. I have two different versions. I'm only going to bring out this version for this video, but I do have the contoured plain version that's not black, with the blue accents instead of gold. This is in LMAX steel. Amazing ergonomics. Using their top liner lock, which is basically a compression lock with a button attached. Phenomenal front flipping action. Great reverse or thumb flick. And it's just, in my opinion, a great knife. I've been carrying the hell out of it. The one problem is they do not have a reversible clip, even though it is a very ambidextrous knife. I do think that they did fumble the bag on that one because the clip, man, great titanium mill pocket clip, great size. It's a damn good looking knife too. But speaking about their top liner lock, I highly recommend this one. They recently did the Hedgehog, which also has the top liner lock, and I also freaking love. If I had to choose between these two, I'm going with this one. Premium, more premium materials, I should say, because this is still pretty premium, S35VN. Then they have a few different types of handles. This one has such a crispy breaking detent. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. It's even better than this one, to be honest. I mean, it is just, You can't fail it. I mean, it's so crispy and clicky and ergonomic. I love this Harpoon sheep's foot. The top liner lock, you know, it's a nice strong locking system that allows it to have a very crispy detent while also being as drop shutty as any button lock on bearings. And this thing is super fidgety. But this one does have a reversible deep carry clip. So for lefties, this would be the one you would want to get because it's going to be just as easy right or left-handed to use this one. But you know, I do like the size, the style, and the materials on this one a little bit more. However, one other one that's using their top liner lock is their Raccoon. So they have a regular button lock version, so be careful, make sure it says top liner lock. And this one's in Nitro V, I believe. No, 14C, sorry. They have other versions. So they have crossbar lock versions, button lock versions, and then the top liner lock version, which looks very similar to the button lock because it is a button lock, but much stronger locking system and a crispier detent. And yeah, again, same thing. Great detent, great action, very fidgety. Nice solid lockup, beautiful spear pointish blade, nice sharpening tool and plunge grind. Micarta scales, reversible deep carry clip. So this one is, again, you know, ambidextrous. So like I said, that's the one thing that they fumbled the bag on with this guy. But all three of these are bangers. In my opinion, I think it would go this one. As far as use goes, I would say this one, then this one. But as far as what I like the more, man, I normally love these blade shapes more, but for some reason this thing just speaks to me. If you get it in hand, you'll understand, man. There's just something special about this one. So I'm gonna go this one, then that one, even though I freaking dig the Raccoon. I think it's one of the best budget knives you can buy. Before you guys get out of here, if you like the Chupacabra, but you are on a tight budget, you can always get the Vision FG. The Vision FG is a Snex design, not by Tactile, so completely different. This is USA made, this is made overseas, but it is a Snex design, and you can see they're very similar in a lot of ways. So if you like it and you want one that's super fidgety and has good jimping on it for a phenomenal price, I did do a video comparing the multiple different versions of this all together, testing the steels and seeing which one had the better steel or how the steels did, the handle materials and everything. Check that video out. It's the versus video with the Vision FG. But anyways, because there's also a premium version with titanium from WE. But anyways, I just figured I'd show you guys that, just, you know, to throw it in there right at the end. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace!